everybody, welcome to Average Joe Watch Reviews, where we do more than just reviews. I know you guys are sick of hearing that, but that's just the brand logo. What can I tell you? So, I'm actually in a different place. I'm actually at Josh's house.
Welcome.
Thank you for having us in the studio. And today we have a special guest as well, Chris from the Watch Lounge. You've also may have seen him on the Luxury Bazaar. Congrats on the new job.
Thanks.
He's got his dream job, came up from South Carolina, and now lives here in the Philadelphia area. And it's awesome that all three of us can get together. Mm-hmm. And of course, we have Josh from the Town Watch. So, let's just dive into the topic at hand, which is about Rolex. None of us own a Rolex, and a lot of people will automatically assume, well, it's because you can't afford it. Well, not necessarily. I'm actually going to take it a step further, and this might get a little controversial, but that's why I have two friends here to maybe, kind of talk me down from the ledge here. But I've never really been a huge fan of Rolex, and I think it's about the culture, and that's what we're going to talk about today. But first, I wanted to see if you guys had any opinions, positive or negative. So it's your house, Josh. Why don't you start off?
Yeah, I probably have the least to say here about Rolex, but I don't hate them as a brand. I think they make quality watches. I think we all would say that they do. But like you, I haven't been drawn to them as it seems like the masses are. And I think part of that is because I don't like to follow hype,
right?
In a sense. I like under the radar things that maybe certain people don't know about, but like if you're a watch enthusiast, you do know about it. That's what appeals to me more. And I think Rolex has some watches like that probably in their collection that are kind of under the radar, not as popular. But as a brand as a whole, I think they make quality pieces, no doubt. But I definitely stay away from them for the hype and the inflation of the prices on the. If you want one right now, you have to pay exorbitant amounts of money to get the watch you want, and you have to really weigh the thinking, is it worth the price that you're paying above retail for that watch just to have it now? And a lot of people say yes, it is, because they're hot. People buy them all the time. So,
right.
But for me personally, I like the more under the radar brands in the watch world.
Now, Chris, you work at Luxury Bazaar, so you work for Gray Market, and we all know that if we go to an AD, we might be able to grab one for MSRP. What makes people head to the Gray Market, and why are they willing to pay the prices that a Gray Market dealer would charge, which is more than MSRP?
Well, a lot of it is the Rolex ADs claim they don't have them in stock. They may have them in the back. You know how some of them work. Not all of them work that way, but they're holding them for certain clients. And a lot of it as well is social media is also pushing Rolex.
Right.
And a lot of people want what they can't have, so in turn they get, it's instant gratification.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's the culture piece that I'm talking about. You can go into a Breitling boutique, you can go to an Omega boutique, and pretty much any watch that you see, you can buy. You don't have to come in decked to the nine with a suit and tie on. You don't have to be a previous customer and make it onto a special list. And that's what I like about those particular boutiques. Now, I don't have personal experiences with Rolex boutiques, so I can't specifically say that I have negative experiences, but I have spoken to people and heard some very horror stories. Nico, for instance. He talked about an experience he had where he didn't come in dressed to the nine, and the woman was actually on her phone playing games while he was trying to watch on and asking questions. This is like, did she not take him as a serious customer? Because the guy's got money.
Yeah.
That treatment, from any brand, and especially the one that people view as the top. People think Rolex, they're the top, and that is debated whether that's true or not as far as brands go. But who wants to be treated like that no matter where you go? If you're
Absolutely.
going into a diner, who wants to be ignored by the person who's supposed to be taking care of you, you know? It's
Exactly.
terrible.
I think a lot of people come to people like us because we treat the same person that's buying the $100 Timex the same as the person that's buying the Rolex. You know?
I can vouch for that. We both can vouch for that from
You know
Luxury
what?
Bazaar. Yeah.
Great opportunity to plug Luxury Bazaar because I actually am a client of Luxury Bazaar. I've bought a couple pieces of jewelry actually, and I do plan on buying my next major purchase watch there as well because of the experience that I have. I don't go to diners because they have the best food, like Josh was saying. Me and my wife go to diners because we get the best experience, and I get that at Luxury Bazaar. And you know, a lot of gray market dealers you'll get online, and you may not get that kind of experience. But we have the luxury here at Luxury Bazaar to be able to do that. But Rolex also, like, there's that scalper mentality. You know, you've got these guys that get on these waiting lists, and then they just go ahead and they sell it for exorbitant prices. And I'm talking about like individuals, and it's like kind of like the people that go onto these websites and buy these tickets, and then they sell them for double the price, and it sucks. You know, I don't know. I feel like Rolex creates that environment. What do you guys have any thoughts on that?
Go ahead, Chris.
I think they kind of do. I don't know if it's necessarily them or the actual ADs creating that environment. Because, like I said, a lot of times they may have the stuff in stock, but they're holding it for certain clients to spend a certain like $100,000 in jewelry or whatever else before, and then they'll sell them that hard to get piece over me or you that hasn't spent any money on that.
Do you see a fix to that particular problem?
The only way I could see that happening is do away with the ADs, but then that's how many, families, like we had a local AD back home in Myrtle Beach, Polly's Island there, which is family owned. But he doesn't do just Rolex, though. He does like all kind of other brands like that. But that would kind of hurt those ones. But the bigger ones are kind of, the ones that are, the bigger ADs are kind of the ones that are kind of doing stuff.
Yeah, I've never been into a solely just Rolex AD. I've been into one that has multiple brands. And every one that I've been into, Rolex is the only section of that store that is empty. Completely empty, basically. Maybe one or two pieces in the cases, but just blank. Like, you can't even go in there and look at something if you wanted to. But all the other cases from all the other brands, chock full of really whatever you want. And that even just that turns you off, especially if you don't know that going in.
Right.
Like, we know that might be the case, but someone who's wanting something, they're new to watches, they see this Rolex that they really enjoy, they want to go buy it, but they can't. That's really a terrible thing for them, but in some ways it's good for people on the other side who are making money. Is it good? Is it bad? I don't know. It's hard to say,
I'm more of an experienced kind of guy. I think like you guys, I have a good impression that you guys more like the experience. And, I get a better experience with other brands. And Rolex just has kind of like this, this snobbery to it that, and I'm not trying to offend anybody. This is just my opinion. But this is one of the biggest reasons why I don't own a Rolex is because of the culture that it creates. Everybody on Instagram posts up their Rolex, and it's just like I don't like to follow the trends. I mean, I like undercover luxury. And even if I were to buy a Rolex, where would I wear it? I mean, when you're spending so much money for something, there's that point where you purchase something at a price that you don't want to wear it. You don't want to scratch it up. You don't want. So that's the other piece too, and that could go for any brand. But for me, it's mainly the experience, the culture, the fact that I can't just go into an AD and just buy one. I have to actually, and no offense to you, but I have to go to you and pay double the price for one now because that's the only way I can buy one. So that's me.
Yeah, and it's not a knock on you guys either because it's business and that's the market.
Exactly.
I mean, when the market goes down, you can't keep charging the same prices you were. You're following the trends.
Yeah, I mean, it
so
goes.
You have
seems
nothing.
like it's going up every week.
Right.
Like prices, like I obviously won't discuss prices we're paying, but prices we're paying for, like, say, a root beer a week ago, we're paying different for this week.
That's crazy to me.
The prices are constantly going up, and you guys are charging fair market value. Because I mean, as soon as you get one in, it's going out the door.
Yeah.
Because the culture is real. Because why would someone pay, let's say double the price at your place when they could go to an AD? That's because they can't. So having a gray market is actually a positive thing because it allows people to buy something that they want, and you just have to pay out the nose for it, But if I were to come to you and get and look for a Breitling,
might be able to get it under retail.
I could actually get it for under retail, which actually I can confirm that because I actually almost bought one from you the other day, but it's just the wrong dial color. So, but I am looking at Tudors, and again, I can confirm that I can actually get under retail for a Tudor as well. So, Rolex is just ridiculous right now. So if I'm going to pay $20,000 plus for a watch, honestly, I think I'm going to look more towards the AP. I don't know about you guys. If you had $20,000, what would you rather have? A Rolex, or is there another brand that you would pay for?
Go ahead,
I
Chris.
love AP. Fortunately, with this job now, I can handle those pieces day in, day out, and I've gotten all kind of different Rolex, handle all kind of different AP. And the one thing I have found out, like, I can get why people love the Rolex because the quality is there. It's definitely there. It's just one brand that you have to watch, like AP. You just have to watch where you wear it because you can't go out in the street just walking down the street with like a Rolex without worrying about getting robbed for it.
This is true. Yeah, in a lot of places.
Because even an AP would be a little bit more under the radar, despite their flashiness. People don't know what AP is, like the average Joe. But everybody knows what Rolex is. So But you mentioned something about the quality aspect. Like what makes Rolex a better build quality than AP?
They're not necessarily better build quality. I would consider them like a stronger built watch. You can do a little bit more with them. APs are a little more on the delicate side, but they're well-made watches. So I'm trying
to like kind of dig a little bit deeper. Like when you say delicate, like
because Rolex is more of a tool watch,
more
of a tool style watch, where the AP is more like a luxury. I mean, Rolex is a luxury watch, but AP is more on the higher end of the luxury side.
Yeah.
As far as like build quality and everything, but they're just a little more delicate. Like you can't go work out in an AP. I mean, you can't, but
probably wouldn't want to either, right? Yeah.
You can work out in the Submariner though.
Sure.
Yeah.
Also diving wise, I guess Rolex makes more of the
depth wise.
Okay.
They're stronger.
All right. Thank you. And that's the great thing about these videos is it educates me as well because I don't trust me. I'm an average Joe. I don't know it all. So this guy here,
I'm learning. So
he's learning still, but he still has more hands on, which I need to make another visit over there and play some more. Yeah. It's another advantage of this luxury bazaar is that I can go over there and play with some watches and kind of handle them a little bit and see if whether or not I want to reach in my pocket and buy one. I think Tudor's next on the list. So
Tudor's definitely a great brand.
What about you, Josh? If you had $20,000 plus, would you go Rolex or is there another brand that you would go for?
I don't think I would go Rolex. I'd probably look into some of the other brands, Vacheron maybe.
I like Vacheron.
JLC. I'm a big fan of JLC. So one of those brands. I like AP too. A lot of what they do. So. I'd go in that direction. Can't tell you a specific watch, but...
What about you, $20,000 plus?
I would probably go AP.
Okay.
Over Rolex. I mean, I love Rolex, but I would probably, that price range, I'd probably go AP.
I think the $1 million question I have, and this is definitely to you, Chris, because you're right in the middle of it, is I could have got a Milgauss last year, maybe a year and a half ago, for $6,000 to $8,000. Now they're going... definitely more towards 14, right?
They're going more towards that. Yeah, they're going higher. With speculation that they're going to be discontinued, so that's probably part of the reason why it's driving the prices up.
All right, so maybe that's a bad example because Rolexes in general, like, okay, let me go to a Submariner, for instance. I could have gotten a Submariner, even gray market last year. I was looking 8,000 to 10,000. Now you're looking easily 14 on up. What has made the cost go up? Is it supply, demand? Is it the
Not
limited?
really supply and demand.
Right.
Rolex makes millions of watches a year, and I think it's another thing of people want it now, and they can't get them in the 80s, so they want what they can't have.
Yeah.
What makes people want them more now than even a year ago?
I think social media probably has a lot to do with that.
Gotcha.
Because you're always seeing them on Instagram, you're always seeing them on Facebook, everywhere you look, YouTube, they're everywhere. So everybody wants what they see.
I mean, everything's going up these days.
Yeah, that is true.
Inflation and all that.
Absolutely is true. I mean, just the other day or the other month, Lincoln reached out to me and wanted to buy my car from me, and I would have pretty much broken even. But then I have to buy another car, and of course the prices are extraordinarily high. I mean, so I kept it. But I mean, like, everything's going up. It's crazy. Any last thoughts about Rolex before we close out?
I can't say, like I said, the more I handle them, which has surprised me. I've never even been a real big gold fan, but I like the Rolex gold. It's well made, and especially the President, the olive dial, the date. That is, if I could ever afford it.
What are they going for now?
I would want to say like 90s.
Wow.
Depending on the model, which one you get.
And then retail is like 40, 50?
Yeah.
Wow.
Somewhere around there.
Yeah.
So, realistically, if you could buy a Rolex with, the money that you're making now, what one would you go for?
I would probably go for Submariner.
Okay.
Just for basic everyday wear, like the more I try those on, that new 41mm size is about perfect for my wrist. So
Black dial,
definitely.
Okay.
Yeah. Probably. I don't know if I go date or no date. Probably no date.
whatever's cheaper, right?
Yeah.
What about you, Josh?
Last words for me. I mean, I'd say I like Rolex as a brand. I don't bash them necessarily, but I would not probably pay gray market prices if I wanted one. But
right.
I mean, I like a lot of what they do. I like their dates and all. The President bracelet I think is awesome. So
comfortable wear.
Yeah, it's just stunning pieces that they make. I mean, again, they're a great brand, but I'd look other places first.
Yeah, I'm definitely with you, Josh. And which Rolex would you get if you had the choice within your budget?
I don't know. More than
if you had a budget of, let's say,
I'd go with something gold, solid gold, probably some sort of date President, something like that.
All right, so sky's the limit there.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Me personally, I don't have any plans on getting a Rolex anytime soon. My three favorite brands are Breitling, Omega, and Tudor right now. So I'd probably buy one of those and buy them all day long before a Rolex. That's just me. I'd like to see a culture change. I like to walk into an AD and have some champagne poured for me like I had happen at the Omega Boutique. I like to feel like I'm a valued customer. Just like in any other place. So, I think until Rolex takes control of the ADs and makes it a uniform type experience, I think that's one of the biggest flaws that Rolex has going for them. But it's obviously not hitting them in the pockets because they are a really highly sought after watch. So, God bless anyone that wants one out there, but it's just not for me. But I want to thank my special guests and thank you for allowing us to film here. And if you're not yet subscribed to Josh, the Town Watch, I'll put his channel down below, and I'll do the same for the Watch Lounge, Chris. Two very good channels, but most importantly, two even better people. Two humble guys, and just two average Joes. So that's why I like them the most. So, so I'm going to close out by saying that there's always time to be kind to one another. Please take care of each other, and I'll see you guys next time on Average Joe Watch Reviews. God bless, my friends.
See ya.